Lawson Henry, and I'm a sophomore at John Brown University, majoring in marketing and minoring in outdoor leadership ministry. And this morning, I'm going to be presenting on a new approach to at-risk youth, the Challenge Course experience. First we're going to define by defining what at-risk youth are. And at-risk youth are adolescents between the age of 10 and 19 years old that are the products of a culture that hasn't provided them with the motivations, opportunities, experiences, and relationships that will enhance their chances for competing successfully with their fellow citizens in all phases of life. At-risk youth are more likely to engage in and experiment with potentially dangerous activities such as drug and alcohol abuse, unprotected sex, self-harm, and gangs. This often results in dropping out of school. Some causes of at-risk youth are poverty, abuse in 4 different realms. We've got physical, emotional, spiritual, and sexual abuse, neglect by their family, friends, loved ones, different things like that. We've also got relational dysfunction with their peers. Maybe they haven't formed good relationships with other people their age, feel isolated by them. Family dysfunction such as not forming good relationships with their parents, which can also result in neglect and abuse, and also low self-esteem. And rarely is one thing responsible for making a youth at risk, but rather many of these factors interacting together. But it's also important not to draw too many conclusions. Just because some of these factors are present doesn't mean that the youth will become involved in at-risk activities. Some characteristics of at-risk males are that they act out against authority. They view authority as a personalized being that is out to get them, kind of like the big man that's trying to stick it to them. They lack social restraint in how they interact with other people. They desire to prove their manhood, maybe because in their family or their friends they haven't been given opportunity to show their masculinity in different ways. And they also want what they want when they want it, so they will do things to get that. Some characteristics of females is they have a negative self-image of themselves. Maybe this is from the abuse. They haven't been told, oh, you're pretty, or raised in a nurturing environment. They're abnormally competitive. They can be aggressive at times. And they also have an unrealistic view of relationships, especially love and dating relationships. And they view them more as ways to get out of pain instead of the traditional view. Some current approaches to at-risk youth is we've got counseling that can take place in a school or a third party by a trained counselor. We've got correctional schools where they take the child out of a traditional public school and group them together in a correctional facility. I know in my hometown we have a school like that where they're showing at-risk possibilities. They take them and put them in the correctional facility for a while, and then once they improve, they go back into the public system. And then there's also foster care. If it's abuse in the home or neglect in the home, they will take them out of their parents' home because that's where the abuse is occurring, and put them in a foster home. One study I read showed that even in these foster homes, they can still be abused. There's quite a high percentage of that. So a new approach that is starting to be used to minister to these at-risk youth is what is called challenge courses. Challenge courses can be high ropes activities such as like big climbing walls or big towers that they climb up with ropes and harnesses and different things like that. And be more low ropes things that are 5 feet off the ground or below, where they're working together to accomplish menial tasks, and it all incorporates experiential learning, which is the process of actively engaging students in an authentic experience that will have benefits and consequences. Students make their own discoveries and experiment with knowledge themselves instead of reading about the experiences of others. Students also reflect on their experiences, thus developing new skills, new attitudes, and new ways of thinking. Some advantages of challenge courses are it takes the at-risk youth out of their traditional setting and puts them in a setting that's a little different, a little new, and it helps to fit their tactile learning style, because at-risk youth traditionally are more tactile and like to be more hands-on with things, so sitting in something like this would drive them nuts. And with challenge courses, you can cooperate with the school and parents. Maybe the counselors can suggest that, hey, we're going to send a group of at-risk youth out to you this weekend for 2 or 3 days and let you work with them, and then you can report back what you've seen as far as growth. And then it has a specific purpose that can be catered to fit the clientele and what they want to accomplish. I've worked at several challenge courses while I've been in college, and we're very flexible about how we program for different groups and what they want to accomplish, if it's teamwork or if it's communication, or just various things, whether it's a school group or a corporate group. Some characteristics of challenge courses is the holistic experience, so it doesn't only involve the mind, it doesn't only involve the body, but it involves the whole person, referred to as whole person ministry. So it gets their whole body and mind and working together in order to accomplish a task. It incorporates problem solving. They have to think through things, and they'll have direct consequences on whether they succeed or have to try again. We have what we call the full value contract, and when we do the full value contract, we like to use our hands to model it for them. The pinky stands for safety, because it's a little weak guy, so you got to protect him and keep him safe. The ring finger stands for commitment to finishing the task, doing your best. The middle finger stands for expressing anger in a constructive way, so you're not yelling at people or giving the middle finger by itself, but you're thinking through things and saying and talking through your anger. The pointer finger stands for responsibility, because you're pointing at yourself and saying, I am responsible for what happens here today. And then you've got the thumb for encouragement, so you're encouraging others and also encouraging yourself. And if at any time during a challenge course experience they feel one of these is being broken, you can just hold up your whole hand and say stop. Challenge courses have perceived risk, so obviously you're 5, 10, 30 feet off the ground, and so it's a little risky. I mean, all the equipment's made to be extremely safe, hold thousands of pounds of stuff, but still seeing this little bitty rope in front of you and saying, this is going to hold me, really, is a little scary. But what perceived risk allows them to do, along with challenge by choice, is it takes them out of their comfort zone where they're used to and pushes them into what we call the stretch zone, which is kind of like a learning zone where they can learn and grow and experience new things without feeling pressure and hostility towards them for trying new things. And finally, we have, at the end of every challenge course activity, we have a debriefing where we take what has happened, maybe it's like a team wall or something, and we say, okay, what did you do well on here? What are some things you could improve on? How did you all work together well to accomplish this task? What are some things you had to use, like teamwork, etc.? And also we have sequencing, where we can plan the order of events in a way that will accomplish what we want. Facilitators are also on staff.